Dear friends, welcome to my channel. As we know that every one of us may be a good and competent students as well as researchers. We may have the talent to do good research work, but most of the time we fail to tell about our work to others. Please remember, telling about your work, writing, presenting in conferences, publishing is as important as doing it. Through a series of video, I will tell you about how to write different parts of thesis and research communication. In this part, details will be discussed on abstract writing, followed by in other parts, that is in my next video, and the other different parts will be discussed. The content of my series will be on how to write abstract, that will be included in part 1, followed by in the second part introduction, in the third part materials and method, followed by in the fourth part I will discuss about how to write the resultant discussion. In the fifth part, table, figures and plates, how you have to present in good thesis or as well as good research communication, followed by how to write summaries and then citation, all the references and bibliography. So let us start with the abstract. As we know that abstract is a short summary of the completed research work, what you did in say during 2 years or the 3 years or say 5 years of time during your master's as well as PhD work. Please try to remember it is a mini version of an essential part of a thesis which provide the brief summary in a very tabulated form. Many a times we can say the abstract is a summary of the information of the thesis that contains, which may be a 30 pages thesis, which may be a 80 pages or say 200 to 300 pages of a thesis. Now question arises, what is its purpose? The main purpose is to provide your readers, with an easy to understand summary of the entire proposal's focus. Secondly, we can say the another purpose is to give the readers a quick identification of the basic content of the thesis as well as research papers. It has number of different components. Number one, that is called your motivations or the problem statement. That means in the abstract there must be one part, that is the on what you are going to write your whole paper or whole thesis. That should be focused in the first and foremost cases, followed by what specific methodologies or the procedures or the approaches you have followed to solve the problem what you have mentioned in the first 1 or 2 sentences, followed by in the third to fourth sentences you have to write the most important results or the findings or the product if any, and lastly you have to mention in a very brief way the conclusion or the implications of the research work. My dear friends, at the time of writing abstract, you have to follow some guidelines. In the first point, always try to remember what should be the length of an abstract. It should be very concise, and the maximum length being 50% of one page. Secondly, you need to economize your use of words and tie ideas, 2 to 3 ideas together. Use the most precise and relevant word to best express the content. An abstract that are too long will have to be rewritten. Then next, another important point is that it's called content. It can be written as one large paragraph, or for essay reading, you can use paragraph for each section of the content. So if you want to write your abstract in paras, so in the number 1 para, it should contain your objectives and scopes. Second para, you have to include a description of the method used. In the third para, you have to include a summary of the result. And in fourth para, you have to include a statement of the main. Followed by what are the other considerations which you have to give more and more importance at the time of writing your abstract. So please try to remember, while first person, that means I, we, you may be used in the body of your thesis. You must use third person, that is in passive form in the abstract. Keep your abstract clear and simple. Always you have to check your grammars, spellings and the formattings. whatever followed in a particular abstract. Please use either British English spelling conventions or American English spelling conventions throughout your abstract, but not the both. Usually the abstract written in the past tense because the research has already been done. At the time of writing abstract, we have to be very careful about the tenses because this is also an integral part in scientific writing. Simple past tenses for everything that has happened in the past, that is at least 90% of what you write. Present tense for principles and housekeeping, that is the rest. Here I am showing one paragraph which contains different type of tenses: present tense, present perfect tense, as well as future tense. This type of tenses you should not use in a particular abstract. Rather, in the corrected form of this paragraph will be like that. As the work has already been done, so we have to mention everything in the past tense, like was great, and as well as was, as I have mentioned in this. Beside that, you have to remember some other point, like please don't use headings for your abstract paragraphs, like objectives, methods, results, and conclusions. Secondly, please avoid using abbreviation or the acronyms in your abstract. As for example, the first time you use the abbreviation, you must write out the full form and put the abbreviation in brackets. Here another example, I have cited one sentence, that is SAM, TAM and DLS, etc. were used to characterize NPs synthesized through green engineering using BCAs. So this type of sentence you should not use in abstract, as because this sentence contains numbers of abbreviations. The abbreviation I have used in the earlier sentence were SAM, TAM, DLS, NPs and BCA. These words may be known to the worker of this line, but it may not be known or familiar for other worker. So we have to mention the full form of SAM, like scanning electron microscopy, TAM, transmission electron microscopy, DLS, diffraction light scattering, NPs, nanoparticles, BCA, biocontrol as an act. Here I am presenting one abstract which has been published in Journal of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology. If you are interested, you can see this abstract through this DOI number provided. And the title of this paper was Antifungal Activity of Biogenically Synthesized Silver and Gold Nanoparticle Against the Seed Blight of Rice. This article is of around 10 to 12 pages, but the abstract has been written in 250 to 300 words. Here is another example of an abstract which has been published recently in Frontiers in Plant Sciences. This article is of around 15 pages, but abstract has been written in 400 to 450 words. Dear friends, before concluding today's discussion, I want to request you, please open your account in Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Publons, Web of Science Researcher, ORCID, so that you can get more and more idea about the scientific writings, as well as how to write abstract, introduction and other part of thesis, and as well as research communication. So my friends, I am sure you like the video. If so, please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and be in touch for my next video. Thank you.